what you are investing towards. And also, once you know what you're investing towards, you know how much to be putting in your investment account. Next slide. So the secret to success is to start now. So you start now, creating a habit of managing and investing your money wisely. So you have to start thinking about how you use your money, how you save money, and how you, most importantly, like we say, invest your money. Next slide. Keep going. Okay, we'll just quickly go through this. Companies, is just to tell you about companies. One way you can invest is by investing in company stocks and shares, as you all know. Company stocks and shares give you good returns. For example, the Nigerian stock market returned about 42% return in the last year. 42% return. So that's very good. So you can see, but you need to learn more about the stock market to get involved in that. But maybe that will be at another session where we talk about stocks and shares. Next slide. Next slide. Now, the one you can all do today is a mutual fund. Now, what a mutual fund is basically, like I said, all of you here can buy stocks and shares individually yourself. There's no reason why you can't. And I encourage you guys to learn how to do that. And like I said, you've got your feedback forms there. Maybe you can make in your feedback forms. We do another session just to teach you about stocks and shares. But if you don't know how to pick stocks individually yourself, you can give that responsibility to a professional who can do that stock picking for you or make those investment decisions for you. And that's basically what a mutual fund is. So a mutual fund is basically just somebody who you give money to that will invest on your behalf. Okay? That's basically what a mutual fund is. Next slide. And like I said, you have the FBNN Money Market Mutual Fund, which is one I want all of you to start with today. Next. Next. Stop. Now, the good thing about the FBNN Quest Money Market Mutual Fund is that number one, the minimum you need to open an account is 5,000 naira. So you can start investing with as little as 5,000 naira and start making your compound interest and start your journey on your compound interest. And like I said, 10 people here will win 10,000 naira each to start their investment. And look at the return you get on the fund is 18%. That's the return as at yesterday. It has an annual return of about 18%. What the money market mutual fund tends to invest in are safe investments like treasury bills, commercial paper, bonds. So your capital is more or less safe. That's why I can confidently tell all of you to start with that. Because it's not a risky investment, it's very safe. They're investing in safe instruments that, the risk is almost nil, zero, but it's very, very low risk. So I can confidently tell all of you to open an FBNN Quest asset management account. Tell them you want to invest in a money market mutual fund, and you can start getting your 18% interest and compounding it. So you see, we've been talking about 15%, isn't that right? But you can see, we've told you something that you can get 18%. And all you have to do is open an account with FBNN Quest, 5,000 naira minimum. And like I said, 10 people will get 10,000 naira towards their investment. Next slide. Okay, this is just the investment account opening criteria, but we won't go through that. That's what they are there for. So you can see them afterwards to open an investment account. Next. Keep going. Okay, so we'll round up with this again. So like I said, the quiz and competition, like I said again, is the top 10 responses will get 10,000 naira each, the top 10. But that 10,000 naira will be deposited in your investment account for you. So you need to have opened an FBNN Quest investment account, because if you're one of the top 10, I'm going to give FBNN Quest 100,000 naira, and then when we get the names of the top 10, we'll give the names to FBNN Quest, and if you have opened your account, they'll put the 10,000 naira in there. Of course, if you don't open your account, we might have to give it to somebody else. But okay, so next slide. So like I said, those are the two questions. What did you learn from today? What do you plan to do from today? So what did you learn from today? What do you plan to do from today? Like I said, you need to email your questions in, your answers in. You have up till next week Friday to send in your answers. I think next week Friday is the 5th of January. And then the winners will be announced the following Monday, and it'll be posted on the website. Okay, next slide. Next slide, quickly. And like I say, you can also go to the website, NextGenFLX.com, to the quiz and competition section. Again, the questions and the terms and conditions are on the website there. Okay, next question. Okay, that's it. Any questions? We're all done. I think it's time for lunch. Any questions before we go? Have we got another mic?
Good afternoon.
Hello.
Yes, you spoke about having a balanced life.
Yep.
And I relate with what you said, but I feel like many people today don't find the need to live a balanced life. And I feel like we're all on earth to be the best we can be.
Yeah.
But how do we encourage others to live the balanced life that we are on earth to do?
How do we encourage them?
Yes.
Number one, we encourage people by example. So you know, what they say, you practice what you preach, so to speak. And then obviously, the thing is, so, apart from practicing what you preach to encourage people, you also need to educate people. Because like I said, although I had to go through each of them quickly, there are a lot of benefits to each of those 6 aspects to your life. There are lots of benefits to them.
Good afternoon, sir. Sir, my question is like this. What advice do you have for someone that wants to be a maybe forex trader? Like someone that has an ambition of being a fund manager in future?
That's a good one. But if you want to be a fund manager, you need to get some qualifications for that. So there are some exams and qualifications you need to do to become a fund manager. In fact, you can ask the guys at LBNN Quest. So see them, have a chat to them. So try and charm them. Who knows, they might employ you to become the fund manager if you go through the, the trading. Okay, she'll get to you.
Good afternoon, sir. Mrs. Ibukan Oshika. Yeah, well done, ma. I've been listening to you since I was 11 from Dragon's Den in 2008. Yeah, so it's a great opportunity to have met you this morning and afternoon. Okay, my question goes to her. This age grants us a huge opportunity to be serial entrepreneurs. We can't own one business. We can't start one business. How many of you here agree? You know, even with the compound interest, everything, that means for you to get interest on interest, that means once you get interest on that interest, you have to start looking for another channel to get more interest. How do you get to multitask, for God's sake? Like, how do you get to go to school, be part of a family, be part of a religious organization, be part of this organization, be part of this business and that business and that business, and get your whole balance together? You're a caterer, you still run PR, you still do web development, animation and everything. And you have to be a child, you still have to go to school. How? How do you multitask?
So the idea is not to confuse you. And I get this question all the time about all these multiple streams of income. And you guys all want to make all the money from every possible area at the same time before you're 20, let alone talk about 30. But let's understand it. In life, there's opportunity cost. It's extremely important that you work things out in their seasons. If you're in school, education is important. Focus on it. If for some reason you have something that works for you within the context of school that generates money but does not interfere with your ability to be the best of yourself academically, good for you. But however, you must be wise and know that sorting out school, and I know about those that dropped out of school and became billionaires, but there are more people that dropped out of school and became nothing than the ones that made something dropping out of school. So that's something you need to answer honestly. The other thing about streams of income is, look, you always need to prove yourself in terms of your ability to build, to hold, to structure for the long term. And you can't do it running 10 different things at the same time. You need to prove yourself in one area and be known and acknowledged for competence, capacity, diligence, and for like institutions, financial institutions to know they can trust money to you because you are diligent and you build for the long term. That's important. So generally for me, don't get caught in the streams of income from the beginning. Build that one thing that is your area of specialization, that is the area that you own and you're known for. Okay, someone said Bill Gates has 300 streams of income. Remember the first GEM event? Good, but what do you know Bill Gates for? Microsoft. If I ask you what the 299 other things are, do you know them? No. Why? They came after. Came after from Microsoft generated capital. When you build that one main thing that you're known for, that you acknowledge for, you generate cash. The cash that you're generating creates opportunity for you to do other things. And so then you buy houses, that's fine. So you buy houses, you're getting rent. You buy businesses that already have cash flow, you're generating cash from there. You go to the stock market and you buy 20% of a company without sitting in the room or knowing anything about it. Of course, you know the company will give you value. There are many things you can do when you're established and you already have cash flow. So work in stages and in seasons and be disciplined about it. Because the other, yourself thin and you'll be jack of all trade and master of none. So don't get confused. Don't get overwhelmed. Don't follow the crowd. Prioritize. Build where you are first. You know, I find it funny when people ask me, oh, are you still in furniture manufacturing? I just laugh. Yeah, right, I am. And I have multiple factories within that industry. So are there other things you do? Yes. So our security door business, if you go through the banks, those bulletproof doors you walk through, so that's us. And I've been doing that for like 22 years. Most people don't even know we're involved in that business, but that's a huge part of my business growth. But how did that come? Accidental to the business of the furniture, and it sells to the same clients. Woo, banks are the major buyers of it, and they're my clients on the furniture side. So something else they need that I walk into, and I sell to them, and I generate money from it. And then you run from that, and so there's a factory in Italy that is building for me in Nigeria, and then somewhere along the line of opportunity, that factory goes under, and because I still have a marketplace for the product, I go in, buy the right to their product, take their workforce and set up a factory in Italy, producing it for me. Accidental to my original business, but increases my options and my streams of income. Yes.
I was just saying to her, she got all those opportunities because of the reputation she first built. That's what gave her the opportunity to get those other things.
Also allows you to find capital for business, because in your first place you have proven you can be trusted, you can build for the long term, you stay with something and all of that. Banks are more willing to give you money. You don't have to speak as much grammar because you have a track record that facilitates opportunities for you. All right? So when they talk streams, it's not for you. It's not yet, you're not yet there. Focus on one thing at a time. There's a point where it would naturally emerge and you'll be master of all. Thank you.
How long do we have left for questions? Okay, we'll take one more after this.
Good afternoon,
Go ahead.
everyone. I want to ask a question from you. Like, if things were to be backdated and you're in our age presently, what are the mistakes, advice you would give me as someone just starting the millennial age?
Whew, that's a very good but tough question. Okay, I mean, the honest truth is I wish I had this knowledge when I was your age, because obviously when I was your age, all I was doing was partying and spending money and being reckless with money. So, so I think that is the biggest thing that I learned, obviously as an adult, was how to be good with money. But unfortunately, I learned it very late on. And I wish I had been much better with money at your stage in terms of, investing some of my money, being good with some of my money, and still having fun at the same time. But I think at your stage, it was just 100% fun and 100% spending money. So those are the things I wish I had done better. I would have still had fun, but I've been better with money. One more question, but I'll say if you have questions later that can't be answered today, again, you can email your questions to us at info@nextgenflx.com. Last question.
Good afternoon, sir.
Hello, good afternoon.
My question is, as a youth, you want to start up a business. Is it advisable to start a business with a loan?
That one is not good, though. As a youth, now, personally, I won't advise it. Like Mrs. Aoshika said, I think if at this stage in life, you don't want to start getting into debt. That's not a good way to start, getting into debt. So you need to think about what can you do on your own? What can you do small? Start small. Let's say, for example, you want to be a caterer. Yeah, you can start by catering for maybe a small family christening. Don't say you want to cater for a hall of 1,000 people first. So you first start small with things that you can afford or maybe your family can support you with. And again, with the interest rate with loans, again, this is why financial literacy is very important. Most loans will be costing you 20% interest rate. So how much are you going to be making to himself pay the loan back and make a profit? You probably end up losing money and then owing the bank money, and that's not something you want to get into at this stage in life. So yeah, I would advise is start small, start with what is affordable, start with what you can manage, and then gradually build on that. And then with time you can think about that. But I would say getting into debt, especially with loans with high interest rates, I wouldn't advise it. You could end up in deep trouble. Anyway, thank you all. And happy money management. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Banjoko. A round of applause again for Dr. Banjoko. Thank you very much.